So I saw, it's now just under a week ago, Mark Pilgrim passed away. The well-known radio DJ, Mark Pilgrim. He was at 5FM. He was at 94.7. He was at Hot FM. He passed away at 53 years old. And I looked at that and I thought, whoa, I'm 51. And Mark Pilgrim had this long career, very well known. I mean, the amount of social media reaction, so many things about Mark Pilgrim. And then then I make it all about myself. I make it all about myself, of course. And I'm not going to feel bad. I think everyone does. I'm just the only one to admit it. I think I'm 51. I'm still alive. I got to, maybe I'm gonna, you got to think about it. Got to take every opportunity, bless every day. So that's why I brought Stephen Marks, just a bit of slight background on him. I'm not going to give a long biography. High FM afternoon drive many years ago. You probably don't remember him. Stephen, thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me on the Kalvari podcast.
What is it called? Let's just call it. We don't have to call it anything. So Stephen, here we are. What are you? 55, 56?
55.
55. When you see somebody like Mark Pilgrim's, Jeremy Mansfield was 59. I think he's gone. Does it make you? Do you get reflective? Do you start thinking about things?
Well, my current work is I work a lot with the dead at the moment.
Oh, you
Yes.
work at the West
I work
Park?
at the cemetery.
You take videos
Yeah.
of funerals.
But having said that, it does put things into perspective. Mark Pilgrim was a great DJ, etc., etc., but he was very ill, and he had been ill in the past. So, it was very unfortunate. Same with Jeremy Mansfield. I mean, these guys had a history of cancer, and unfortunately, it caught up with him. But why I'm said about the cemetery is that I see people die every day, and old and young. And it kind of sort of, I suppose, puts it into perspective that this is just the way the universe is.
One of the things with life and death, which I've come to there's a small margin of error. The difference between being alive and being dead, it's like a couple of, it can be very close.
Milliseconds.
So, yes. In terms of your blood pressure, your heart rate, there's so many factors that if it just goes slightly the wrong way, it's
Tickets.
it's tickets. It's a delicate process. And I'm looking at. I just think to myself, we're dinosaurs when it comes to radio and media, and I've been questioning myself. I've been questioning my relevance. Am I relevant?
I think, you know what, it's a great question because I've been pondering the same thing. And I got myself off Facebook because I've just found it not relevant for me. It was just boring, and so I stuck with Instagram.
How do you know when somebody's having a birthday? You're not going to know somebody's birthday.
Well, I've missed everyone's birthday. But having said that, I stuck with Instagram because it's simpler. It's, it just appeared to be a little bit more user-friendly and less invasive. But it's much the same. Why I'm saying this is that there are so many people on these platforms, Instagram and TikTok, that I look at their followers, and you get an average person from Orange Grove or wherever, and he's got 50,000 followers on TikTok. And what is he doing? Stupid things. People are following idiots on social media.
Well,
let me
tell you,
idiots are making money off social media.
I got so what's the word? Disenchanted, discouraged. I saw somebody post. There was a horrible story last year or the year before, where some woman had some psychiatric breakdown. She was in a branch of KUWTK, our bank,
right,
and she took off all her clothes. She was completely naked, and she was trashing the offices. She was having a psychiatric breakdown. Now, the real story was the story.
Someone filmed it.
Somebody filmed it. This woman is having a psychiatric breakdown. That was the story.
Right.
Nothing else.
So someone posted it.
Some idiot went on YouTube And her story was, KUWTK. She made it all about KUWTK.
Disgusting.
That KUWTK, well, stupid.
Ridiculous.
It was all about, this is KUWTK. KUWTK, you're in trouble now. This is what you do. You make people so angry. Your service is so bad that look what you've done to make the... You know how many people viewed her? About 1,800 people viewed her video on YouTube. And she was speaking absolute cock.
But this is the problem with social media.
She missed the story completely.
So my feeling, you talk about relevance. We are irrelevant. And I think...
We're relevant to the masses, to the general population.
Well, no, we are irrelevant because we are people that shouldn't... not everyone needs to have a voice. Not everyone should have a voice. The problem with social media is it's made stars out of idiots. So you get any person that manages to do something stupid, pull his pants down in a McDonald's, for example, and he gets 1 million views on and he's suddenly a millionaire.
But the thing is, but on the other side of the coin, there's some genuinely good stuff.
Without a doubt, I must agree.
But
yes.
unfortunately, it's all painted by the same brush.
Well, it's about relevance, and it's to who are they relevant? They're relevant to the people that are going to view the stuff, and the people that garner the most views are making money from it. And I don't begrudge people making money, but for me, it just seems completely ridiculous that we are spending our time watching average people making a lot of money for doing very, very average things.
Well, I don't know. You see, I'm not 100% familiar with the revenue streams. Like, that person in Orange Grove has got 50,000 followers on TikTok. What kind of money are they making?
No, look, I think Orange Grove, for 50,000 viewers or followers in Orange Grove, is not relevant. I'm talking about the people that have hundreds of thousands of followers or millions, and they're getting millions of views or hundreds of thousands of views.
And it's not great content.
And it's rubbish. But there's people are generating this content just for that purpose.
And the revenue, the money they make?
Well,
there's advertising on TikTok, there's advertising on YouTube.
Well, that's the thing. But you have to have a certain amount of followers, and you have to have a certain amount of views to monetize it.
Okay.
I'm not sure of those metrics.
Well, YouTube, apparently on YouTube, you just need 1,000 subscribers.
Yes.
Now, I'm on TikTok now.
Oh, really?
Hashtag old man. So I thought to myself, I'm only 51. I don't think I'm middle-aged.
But hashtag...
So because of TikTok is generally 16 to 25, that's their core audience. So I thought to myself, you know what? To that audience, I'm an old man. So my title is Old Man. Old man complains about naked insurance. Old man complains about TikTok. Old man has learned how to use TikTok. Old man is happy with his last YouTube
I think it's
video.
brilliant. I think if you enjoy doing it, do it.
Yeah. So I complained about naked insurance because the panel beater had my car for 4 weeks and they never touched my car.
But you
they never put that on TikTok.
You have a large Twitter following. Are you still very active on Twitter?
What? That Twitter following is the thing is I've got like 40,000 Twitter followers. But what percentage of those followers actually see all your posts?
Well,
very little.
Twitter is a different animal altogether. But I think if you could convert those Twitter followers into TikTok followers, you'd have something. To work with.
I think I'll develop a tick.
I just didn't do the TikTok. I just feel, I'm trying to get away from social media because I think I don't think it's healthy.
But I think there is a healthy side to it. Like, I'm on Twitter. I use it primarily for news stories.
Yes.
So I follow BBC, CNN, Al Jazeera, yada, yada.
There's value there, yes.
So that's what I use it for mainly. And, I very rarely get into a dialogue or interesting, dialogue with people about certain things. I don't do that. Facebook, I've completely given up on. Facebook, I will post my podcasts on Facebook. And I look at people's birthdays. Instagram, I don't know how to use it.
Instagram's surprisingly simple.
I find it very user-unfriendly.
No, it's terrific because it's one photo or one video at a time, and you just scroll, boom, boom, boom. It takes up.
Yeah, but all those icons, I don't know what they mean.
No, the hashtags. That's all it is. It's all hashtag driven.
Man,
it's all hashtag driven. But
I don't understand.
I was listening to an influencer, they call them in inverted commas, people that are on Instagram as influencers. They get hundreds of thousands
Well,
of followers.
there's people who call themselves influencers, and then there are people who really are influencers.
Well, this is what I'm saying, is that today, Joe Average can be an influencer. And influencing what? What is the topic? Everybody wants to be an internet star. And that's what the social media is driving. And Instagram, I believe, is really relevant in terms of promoting business. And it's not so much as social as Facebook. It's more about promoting business and promoting stories.
So now, I'm trying to get to a common thread about this whole discussion around TikTok, social media, etc. And the common thread is disinformation or misinformation or just utter rubbish. Now, essentially, it's harmless. But
look, there's a lot of political and religious content on all of these platforms.
Yeah.
And I'm quite active as you know, in certain spaces around Israel and politics and religion and stuff. However, even on Instagram, I engage in these issues. And it's difficult to get away from not engaging because these are important things to me. But you have to measure that. And again, you get blocked. If if it's anything against guidelines, you get blocked, like everywhere else. But I do pick up those stories on Instagram.
So you've been blocked in certain...
No, I haven't. But
okay, so we got to a point now where people are like, there are certain, maybe towards the right-wing sphere, that say that freedom of speech.
Yeah.
We should be allowed to say whatever we like, freedom of speech. But then what if you talking rubbish? What if you lying? What if it's disinformation or misinformation? But then they will say no. What we're saying is
there is content moderation. Yes,
and then Fox News has just been in the news lately, where an example, Tucker Carlson, was quoted in private conversation. His opinion about Donald Trump was completely the opposite of what he was portraying on the TV.
Because he's a Democrat, isn't he? But he was a CNN, right?
No, he was on Fox.
Tucker Carlson is not a Fox man, is he?
Very much so.
Oh, I thought Tucker Carlson was one of the left wingers.
No.
Oh, sorry, I got it wrong. Sorry.
Have you had a blunt trauma to your head?
Yeah,
clearly. No, so it's just... So now it's come out that the Fox News did lie.
Sorry, I'm thinking about that other guy from CNN.
Chris Comer?
No. There's another guy. Anyway.
Okay. The point is, it's come out that Fox News did lie about certain things. And they knew they were lying, and the owner of Fox News, the old man, got to try to remember his name now, damn it, he knew they were lying and just let them carry on lying about the 2020 election being stolen.
Right.
Fox News were carrying on about how it was stolen. But they knew they were lying.
I'm thinking of Jake Tapper, sorry.
Well,
that's the opposite of Carlson, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Possibly.
I was thinking of Tapper, sorry.
Okay. So at the end of the day, it all comes... So this whole thing about disinformation or misinformation, let's first get the disinformation is purposefully lying.
Yeah.
Misinformation is disseminating information that you think is true, but is just not true. So how do we...
Who coined the fake news? Was that Trump?
That was Trump.
So fake news has become a meme on its own. It's like
its
own hashtag.
Funnily enough, it's faded away now.
You don't hear much of it.
People don't use that term fake news anymore. But now, the thing is, we've got to a point now where news in general, whether it's CNN or Fox News, has lost a hell of a lot of credibility. How do you know what you're consuming news-wise? How do you know it's true?
Well, I mean, if you listen to...
How do you know it's true?
If you listen to the same story generated by CNN, by Fox, and by Al Jazeera, you're going to get a completely different...
Well, it's very interesting. I hear what you're saying, but in a lot of cases, Fox News, they're not even covering the same stories. They're in another world, another universe to CNN.
I think we also got to separate...
I follow Fox News on Twitter just out of interest, and the stories they go for are just I wouldn't even think about
But
these
isn't it
stories.
more like US centric as opposed to CNN and Al Jazeera, which are more international centric? Fox is very American.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And so is CNN, but not as much as.
Yeah.
as
But I
as
suppose they
Fox.
have the international viewers and the international stream, which is different to the local stream.
Yeah. So, how do you? So who's your go-to your go-to news service? Who would you?
I'll tell you something. I'm traditionally a conservative, as you know. I wouldn't say I'm a Fox freak, but I wouldn't say I'm anywhere. I'm actually becoming more moderate. Because Fox is a lot of rubbish and CNN's a lot of rubbish often. Al Jazeera is a lot of rubbish.
Is CNN as much as rubbish as Fox?
I would probably say CNN is probably a little bit more,
In touch with reality, maybe?
yeah, a little bit more than Fox. Fox is disappointing in that it appears to be a Trump mouthpiece, and I have my reservations about Trump. I'm not totally against him, but I'm not. He's disappointed, and he's the whole Trump model and product is perverted. It appears to become perverted.
I thought it was perverted back in August 2016, quite frankly.
I think a lot of people, yes, have jumped on that, but there were positives from Trump.
I
There were positives.
liked his attitude towards China.
Yes, and North Korea.
The thing about North Korea, I'm not. People say that when Trump was the president, North Korea never tested their missiles. Is that a big deal?
I think it is a big deal.
Is
I think any testing of any missiles from that side of the world
But the thing is,
a
what
problem.
I don't understand, how much testing do you have to do? I mean, really, surely by now you know whether your missiles work or not?
Exactly. But
I mean,
Trump appeared to have better control of being the master in chief of the what do they call him, the most powerful man on earth, the Western civilization's king. I don't know.
I just feel this
He seemed to have more control.
control of what?
Well, it's more control of events, and he seemed to be more in touch with, not in touch.
Well, he was.
He seemed to be, he seemed to have a better grip on world events. Do you know what I mean?
That was my perception, was that he was just kissing tochas. He was kissing Putin's tochas, and he was kissing Kim Jong Un's tochas.
But he instilled confidence. People liked his confidence, and that's the thing about Trump, is that he instilled confidence in everyone. He spoke a lot of crap.
Jeez, I didn't get confidence out of him.
I just felt that, if China was running around rattling their swords and North Korea, Trump would take them on and say, you know what, stop your shit.
Trump
blah, blah,
says
blah.
if he was in charge now,
Yeah.
he would stop the war in Ukraine in 24 hours. How?
Okay, but this is what I'm saying.
He said with a phone call with Putin.
This is what I'm saying. Maybe it's just I liked his the comic side of him, and things like that he would say, and he would actually say that live on television. I would end the war in Ukraine right now. I would make one call. Blah. That was entertainment. I think I liked his theatrics. I liked his entertainment.
Yeah, but I enjoyed. But that's not good for.
But he
world.
didn't
That's
he
not
do-
good for the world.
I mean, I'm no American expert, but did he not do a lot of good things for America in his tenure?
I like the fact that he challenged China on trade, where he like put extra tariffs on China goods. I agreed with that, but that's where it ended.
Did he not create jobs? Did he not lower inflation? Did he not understand healthcare better than Obamacare? Did he none of that? I mean, I'm
No.
sounding very ignorant.
No.
Okay, so
I
then
mean,
I'm not a Trump expert.
He's dealing with the COVID didn't go well. Didn't
Right.
go well at all. I mean, he basically said that COVID is the flu.
Yeah, well, I mean, he just blamed China. I mean, everything was just.
Okay. So now, first of all, I want to talk a little bit about Israel, but I want to. It's like, can we? I don't know how to do this.
Well, can I
we-
preface
what,
one thing?
What?
The level of anti-Semitism in the world right now, as we sit here, Damon, is alarming. It's greater than pre-World War II.
Okay.
That I'll say categorically.
But okay, please. Where do you?
So
get that?
I'm just gonna preempt your Israel discussion by saying that anti-Semitism worldwide, besides the Israeli political turmoil that's going on, or their judicial reform problems, or their protests. In America, anti-Semitism is greater than pre-World War II, 1939 Berlin. It's worse than that.
No, but hang on. Because anti-Semitism in America wasn't relevant to World War II back then.
No, it wasn't. Correct.
So the level of anti-Semitism, you say the level of anti-Semitism in America now is worse than in Europe in the 30s.
I think you're right in that you can't sort of equate them because they were different times and different places. But what's worrying is the hatred from the left and the right towards Jews and Israel is greater than the hatred for Jews during the Second World War.
Yo, Stephen, look, I've read a lot about this over the years. I've read, the thing is, from the early 30s, from 90, this is just a taking like broad guesses. I won't have my dates 100%. But from Hitler came into power in 1933. From, say, 36, 37, 38, weren't Jews already, Jewish businesses were being closed down, Jews could not go to university, all that kind of thing. If you wanted to be a doctor, you were fine. In other words,
I think
there were heavy restrictions.
There were historically,
on Jews.
there was a Jewish problem, and I say that from a worldwide perspective. The Jewish problem in terms of the world has waned and ebbed from.
But come on,
for eons, for thousands of years.
You can't tell me that is what's going on in America now. Come on.
No, but have you not been following? I suppose you don't follow the Jewish sites and what things like the Algemeine.
Yes, there are.
And tablets.
Obviously, there are isolated anti-Semitic instances.
No, but I mean, there's definite action against Jewish students, for example, on campuses, on Ivy League campuses. There's statistics to show how things have changed.
Yes, but is it legislated, official, government-sanctioned anti-Semitism?
No, it's not. There's no government-sanctioned anti-Semitism in America.
I'm not going to deny your claims that there's anti-Semitism in America, but come on, you cannot possibly put it at the same level as late 30s Germany.
I tell you what it's different.
There's
There's no smashing of Jewish shops, and there's no, as you say, systematic separation of Jews en masse like there was.
Exclusions,
Correct.
Exactly.
But it's far more passive, but as dangerous because it's happening on campuses. It's happening. Jews are getting beaten up in New York, in Brooklyn. Jews are getting. Have you not seen what's been going on in Florida?
Yes.
Did you see that idiot?
You showed me that video. There was an instance where there were
neo-Nazis.
There were these neo-Nazis.
Yeah.
But Stephen, you got to look at it in context. What is the population of the United States? What's it, 360 million?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, so what is the percentage of instances? Like, is it really statistically significant?
I tell you why it is, because the Jewish lobby, in inverted commas, in America is strong. And that's part of the problem of anti-Semitism, is that the tropes associated with Jews are the money, the banks, the media, the political interference, etc., etc. And American Jews are powerful. The Bernie Sanders, although he's extremely left, is an icon in American politics in terms of a Jew. Same with George Soros, although he's not a politician, but he's a very powerful and influential democratic Jew. So the tropes against Jews in America is always been important. And what's happening now is a lot of people are now starting to use that as ammunition against the Jewish people, and it has relations with Israel. The Semitism and Zionism aspect, I haven't changed my view on, but for me it's one and the same.
So, if you want to be totally objective,
Yeah.
you are convinced that there is a definite, huge increase in anti-Semitism in the United States in the last 5 years.
And I'm not a conspiracy kind of guy. I hate conspiracy theories because I think a lot of it's rubbish. But I do believe that there is, I don't say a concerted effort. I just think it has panned out that way. I just think that it has now become more apparent, if you look at the statistics and you follow the incidents, that anti-Semitism in America has reached I mean, the ADL has weighed in on it. Many
You can't just say ADL without explaining what
the
ADL is. What is ADL?
Anti-Defamation League in America, which is a watchdog for anti-Semitism, etc. So the ADL has weighed in on it. I mean, people of influence in American Jewry have weighed in on these kinds of things, and it's reached proportions that are worrying. Even Biden has mentioned that they are concerned. The Biden administration are concerned about the levels of anti-Semitism.
Okay, give me your theory why this has occurred.
I'll tell you why. The world is in turmoil. Okay, and I'm not. Don't ever paint me as a conspiracy theorist. I just see what it is. Okay, because all these stories about the Illuminati and the enlightened and the Soros and this, I believe is rubbish.
I always think you're saying Soros, but anyway, yes,
it's rubbish. So what I'm saying is the world is in turmoil. I mean, we can see there's instability in America. American citizens are unstable since the George Floyd was one instance of BLM and et cetera, et cetera. So what I'm saying is, I mean, there's the existential threat from Iran. There's the North Koreans. There's problems in the Middle East, which is a very, very good indicator on world events, on safety in terms of the rest of the world, because it's the bridge between the East and the West, and so on. So I just think that we are in a very difficult time. Maybe it's the social media explosion that's also painting everything dark. Or light, for that matter, depends how you see it. But we appear to be living in times that are excessively unstable. And what's going on in Israel right now as a Jew is worrying, okay? It's not all clear and it's not all simple. We can't sort of say that they are doing this and they are doing that. There's instability there, but there's also terrorism going on there. And from the Israeli government point of view, they're looking out at getting out of terrorists. And from the other side, they are saying that settlers for example, are attacking Palestinians. So, you got to live there to really know what's going on, because the media on both sides, left and right, is bad. But having said that, in terms of the international turmoil, the conspiracy theories are going to abound. And I think a lot of them, you got to be very careful in what you consume from an information perspective, and you got to be very careful what you believe.
This is where I think it's all started.
Yeah.
Social media. 30, 40 years ago, the only people that could talk and broadcast were journalists and radio presenters, and that was it.
And they were they were restricted. Today, free speech is.
Now, there's quite frankly, I never thought I'd say these words. Too much free speech. So it all comes.
Can there be too much free speech?
Unfortunately, free speech needs to be controlled. People don't understand what free speech is. Free speech it should not be disinformation. It should not be hateful. And the problem is, a lot of these right-wing morons don't know the difference between disinformation, misinformation, and the truth. They think that I'm entitled to my opinion. No.
Well, everyone is. Everyone is entitled to their opinion.
No. That's where you cannot keep your opinion to yourself because you don't know what the hell you're talking about.
No, but who should regulate that? Who should say you should keep your opinion to yourself? Well, that's the point of social media, is that everyone has an opinion and everyone's allowed to broadcast it.
That's the problem. There's too much disinformation, misinformation. The other problem is it started with Donald Trump, in my opinion.
Okay.
Donald Trump, one of the prominent leaders in the world, he polarized.
The leader of the free world at the time.
He polarized. He polarized America, and he made it normal, in inverted commas. He made it acceptable to be racist, to be divisive, to be undiplomatic, to use insulting, divisive language. He normalized it. So all these crazy, ignorant, stupid people thought, hey,
it's okay to be racist.
It's okay to be racist. It's okay to take my gun and blow people away because Donald Trump said that these people are bad.
I think you've highlighted a very important.
That's where it all comes down to.
Aspect of this, yes. But then again, is the Biden, and it's not really a case of comparison, But again, Biden is the leader of the free world as we sit here. Is he doing anything to change that? I don't believe so. Is he doing anything to make it better? I don't believe he is.
Gee whiz. You can't expect, this whole social media force and this whole scenario that I've just described, it's gigantic. It's a huge, massive paradigm. A huge, massive paradigm shift has happened in the last 7-8 years.
The thing is, we're not.
We've got to look what happened, and this is, and then I'm going to bring up COVID-19. Look what happened there. People think that they want to question. How do you know this vaccine works? I don't think this vaccine. Did you question the polio vaccine? Did you question the smallpox? Why are you suddenly questioning?
Well,
the COVID vaccine.
I'm a vaxxer.
Fucking moron.
I'm a vaxxer. I believe that you should take the goddamn vaccine.
Exactly.
Okay.
Why?
I hear a lot of this conspiracy shit from the left and the anti-vaxxers.
Why are these people questioning the vaccine? Because of social media. Donald Trump laughed at COVID at the beginning.
Yeah,
he said, it's just a flu.
Yes, correct.
That's why we are where we were.
Yeah, but he also blamed China categorically, and he had no proof.
Even if China was to blame, what's your point? COVID is there. Let's deal with it.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think the world and America in particular dealt with the COVID scenario well or not?
No. They didn't deal with it well at all, but
do you think that they dealt with it in reality as to what happened? In other words, did they? Everyone knew nothing.
It wasn't.
No one, because everyone's blaming Fauci.
I think the American government. Do
you not think they did their best?
Yes. From that point of view, they did their best. The scientists, they couldn't have done anything different.
Well, that's it from a purely scientific point of view.
From a purely scientific point of view, can't fault them.
They said at the beginning of the COVID.
They did their best. Where the fault was.
Yeah.
Started at Trump. Bad communication. That's where it started. Shocking communication. The President of America thought it was a joke. He laughed at people wearing the mask.
No, but he's not an intellectual. He's not a man that takes evidence.
Unfortunately,
it takes evidence and weighs it up.
Unfortunately, half of America, maybe more, at least half the population of America, believed him, and they thought that COVID was a joke, and that
is a problem.
And
yes.
That's where the problem was.
I 100% agree with
People
that.
would not take the vaccine as much as they should have. People were not wearing masks as much as they should have, and the whole world, most of the whole world, acted in that same way. But Stephen, I think we should stop there before we get hurt.
It's
already 33 minutes.
Okay.
So we're not going to go into much more in-depth things about Israel because I think.
Well, next time, what I want to say in closing is that my feelings on Trump, from an American perspective and an international perspective, differs from Trump as an influencer in Israel and Middle Eastern affairs. That's what I'll say. I'll end it on that.
I'll try to understand what that means.